Hello everyone, it's me, Clayton. I just finished watching Invincible, based on the Robert Kirkman comic book of the same name, who happens to also be the creator of The Walking Dead. Now, when it comes to the Image Comics superheroes, Invincible is not one that I'm particularly familiar with. But based on the excellent work that Amazon did on The Boys, I was rather interested in checking Invincible out, at least for these first 3 episodes. And so far, it's actually proving to be quite a ride. Let's get to the story, shall we? The story is about Mark Grayson, played by Stephen Ewan. He's a normal high school boy in every way, other than the fact that his father happens to be the most powerful superhero of his universe, Omni-Man, played by J.K. Simmons. So when Mark happens to develop superpowers of his own, and becomes the hero Invincible, J.K. Simmons gets to train his son in the ways of superherodom, while Mark Grayson also discovers new heroes, aliens, demons, and all that other stuff that you'd expect from a superhero universe. But that's all I'll say about the story without spoiling anything. What I'll say, though, is that while it does certainly have similarities with other superhero universes of its type, it has enough interesting tidbits and enough changes to make it seem like its own thing. Plus, even though it's an adult superhero series, it doesn't feel like its adult content is forced or inorganic. It just feels like there's more blood in the action scenes, a bit of swearing, and that's kind of it so far. On top of that, the animation for the series is actually pretty good. There's a few issues with it. Some of the CGI is a bit iffy when it comes to scenes that have a ton of characters, and there are a few occasions where the designs don't always work out as well as they should, but for the most part, especially for the action scenes, the animation is fast, fluid, and hard-hitting, which is where it matters most. On top of that, the voice cast is pretty well done too. Obviously, you've got Stephen Ewan and J.K. Simmons, but you've also got Sandra Oh, Carrie Payton, Gray Griffin, Andrew Rannells, Walton Goggins, Clancy Brown. It's an all-star cast on all fronts, to the point where tons of members of the Walking Dead cast get to play the Guardians of the Globe in cameos for all of them, and they all happen to fit pretty well. On top of that, even though every episode is around a little over 40 minutes, they feel more like 20-minute episodes due to how well paced and edited they are, to the point where I was actually surprised when the first episode ended at the point that it did. And it's not just because there's a big twist at the end of almost all 3 of the episodes so far. Trust me, they will make you want more every single time you're done with an episode. And on top of that, I am pretty interested in some of the other heroes too. There's Adam Eve, who gets to have some cool action scenes. There's this robot played by Zachary Quinto, who gets to have some funny comedic moments, and, the typical monotone robot thing going on. There's Duplicate, who can multiply herself, who has some fun scenes involving that. And there's a complete idiot called Rexplode, who is probably my least favorite character so far, but I'm sure that was very much intentional. So yeah, the first few episodes of Invincible are pretty darn good, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of the series is like so far. So, until then, see you next time.